What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, I have said it so many times this month, and that is that being a superhero fan has never been more exciting, okay? Marvel's Avengers, Spider-Man PS5, we now got Gotham Knights, and then, of course, the Suicide Squad game. Like, that is gonna be super crazy. Now, after yesterday's DC fandom event, it seems like there is a ton of stuff to look forward to overall, but the internet is not happy. Now, as always, let's try and get this video to 9 likes only, okay, and then just leave it there. And if you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and it will actually say you're subscribed. And that is just a cool thing to do, so go ahead and do that if you have not already. Now, diving into this video, a few things just to say to bring you up to date really. Now, as it stands, we got 4 playable characters, and for me, Red Hood is definitely going to be a main for me, but you guys let me know who yours is in the comments below. Now, that said, Gotham Knights is actually a 2-player co-op, not 4 players, okay? Or you can play solo, and it is going to be releasing on the current gen consoles, as well as the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and of course PC, which hopefully should just open that golden door to just some really exciting mods. It's safe to say someone will probably just mod Batman into this game if he's not going to be in here at all. But the game is online co-op as well, and there has been no mention of split screen as it stands right now. Now, of course, the two first, I guess we can say, big complaints are by majority of people is, I mean, the gameplay looks good, right? There's no doubt about that. I don't really see a lot of people complaining about the gameplay, despite the whole number situation and, you know, characters having levels and so forth. But people are feeling like this game might actually be a games as a service kind of title, and that's where nothing has actually been said by the devs themselves. So firstly, if anything, I actually reckon that they haven't decided themselves if it will be a games as a service type of title yet or not. However, I do feel they are keeping a very close eye on the Avengers game just to see how that pans out over like the first few months, because if it's going to be big, right, if the Avengers game does work out really well, and I mean in return, of course, loads of people, it works, you know, as a games as a service, and in return it generates such a huge profit for Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix, and so forth. Like, if it's on that sort of big level, then I'm sure these guys will actually just go ahead and do it, right? And if it's not, and the Avengers game is terrible and it just doesn't work out as expected by Crystal Dynamics, then at the same time, I guess WB Games Montreal actually win again, because that way they just won't add it into the game, and the game would just instantly be refreshing, and loads of people would just, I guess, naturally take towards the game, right? Now, the conclusion is, will we have no Batman at all? Alright, my conclusion to that is I actually don't think so, or again, they could be pulling a similar move like the Avengers game did with Captain America, except they did more or less like plaster Captain America everywhere, so we did kind of know he's in the game, whereas of course Gotham Knights doesn't necessarily do that. But if anything, it could be a situation where making the first half of the game without Batman could be a thing. Now, my opinion on this is that I think it is absolutely crazy, okay, to get the rights for a DC superhero game, and specifically around the Batman scene, and then just get rid of Batman. Like, literally, there's been so much anticipation around this, like, for years, and then you just literally get rid of the main character. I just think that's crazy. Like, I don't really think I could say another way to sum that up in a nutshell. But like I said, I actually don't feel he'll be playable at all, and I know that's a broad statement to make, but it's a new, essentially, dimension, new characters, new story, okay? So I feel they may have him in, I mean, he can come in at some point in the game to maybe just help or whatever it may be, like fight against you in certain missions, or, you know, I don't know, maybe like a Fury with the whole Court of Owls situation as well, but I'm not sure. But if anything, this could be a game gearing up to also have its just sequel after sequel, okay? I don't really want to compare it to another game like this, but it could just be gearing up to have sequel after sequel like an Assassin's Creed game. But like I said, at this stage, it's just super hard to say. But overall opinion though is that the gameplay did actually look cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, for me personally, I definitely did want Batman. Like, I did want Batman as a main character. We were all kind of expecting like like an Arkham Knight almost kind of feel, which I guess is still there, but essentially it almost feels like Arkham Knight remastered with new characters. But like, I'm not saying I'm hating the game, because I actually am genuinely excited for it. Like, I'm super hyped up to just get my hands on this game, because the gameplay looks super fun, like I said, right? Like, put it in this perspective, okay? If the Suicide Squad game was releasing as of like next year, right? So 2021 as opposed to 2022, I actually think it could have possibly snatched the light away from this game, as I feel there is something super refreshing with that game. Maybe because it's just, you know, a game that's never been done before in that perspective, and it's new in that sense, or I don't know, maybe it's just got a different feel as a whole. But I want you guys to get in the comments and let me know what you think. But I mean, hands down, hats off to WB Games. Like, this is, as far as gameplay goes, like, I'm not too fussed about the whole story aspect of things, or I should be, right? But looking at the gameplay aspect, like, I mean, especially when it was coming down to vehicles as well, how you can just simultaneously jump off your bike, I mean, straight onto the roof, like, it works, right? The transitions are there, it's all smooth, it makes you feel like, you know, a badass character. And I don't want to be one of those guys that keep saying, you know, about the whole next gen side of things, but as crazy as it sounds, right, we know that there's this whole big thing going around with the superhero games like Spider-Man PS5, saying, you know, with how PlayStation 5's DualSense controller and so forth is actually going to play a much bigger role than we think. I mean, for PlayStation users with this Gotham Knight game, I'd imagine they would just take advantage of that as well. Again, I've not actually experienced a PlayStation 5 controller, so I don't have any idea how I'm meant to be feeling, but nonetheless, I think we're in for something good. I actually think we're in for something much bigger than we thought, and right now I think it's smart what they've done, because they've just put the game out there. They've not specifically said in terms of, you know, is it one of those loot games, upgrading gear systems, etc, etc. They've just put it out there, and now they're speculating, right? Like, we don't even have a release date, we just have 2021, so for all we know, it can literally be December of 2021, or we can get close to that and then they can just go ahead and delay it. So right now, WB Games, in my opinion, are in a massive win-win position, and if anything, the game's going to PC, so we will definitely see Batman at one point, I'm very sure. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Leave your thoughts on all of that stuff in the comments below. Don't forget, as always, I am doing a giveaway with Instant Gaming. If you haven't entered that already, please do go ahead and enter that. We do it more or less every month, where you can basically win a game of your choice. So all you do is click the link, you go over to the website, and then you just basically type the game that you want and the console. So definitely enter that if you haven't already. But that's going to wrap up this video here, so leave all your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.